Hello guys. Gazprom is the largest Russian corporation. 50% of Gazprom belong to the state and 50% to the Russian oligarchs who actually own the state. Gazprom is the favorite creation of Putin and for many people in the world the first symbol they associate with the country. You may remember Gazprom logos on various sport competitions, international film festivals. So, to a great extent, Gazprom itself is a symbol of Russia. And what happens to Gazprom actually happens to Russia. And right now we see how once very successful, very rich global company turns into a total ruin. It all began with sanctions, the end of gas transit, and now the headquarters of Gazprom have to hire 40% of their workers. And that is why I've decided to dedicate this video to the sad story of Gazprom after the start of the full-scale invasion, and why this symbol of Russia, better than anything else, illustrates the coming collapse of Putin and their economy. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the defeat and demilitarization of Russia and also protect yourself against their evil narratives and hybrid warfare, subscribe. We discuss all of that on the channel. Gazprom is the largest Russian corporation. It was very rich and could influence not just politicians, but whole nations. With the end of gas transit through Ukraine, which successfully ended on the 1st of January 2025, Gazprom lost any opportunity to influence global European politics. Russians did everything to prevent the closure of transit. They tried to manipulate opinions, saying this will be Azerbaijani gas or something else. But fortunately, we've learned on our mistakes. We gave 3 years of very difficult time to our partners to substitute the providers of their gas and actually liberated countries from the Russian blackmail and manipulations, because they never use their energy resources as just products. They always try to influence and change your natural course of political, cultural, social development. And when this transit ended, Gazprom literally lost the influence over many European countries. They do have a pipeline that is in Turkey, but it's a small branch and it actually does not change anything much. And there are rumors, some attacks happened near it in Anapa. I don't think it was real, but anyway, this pipeline is small, it does not reach many EU countries, and most importantly, none of these countries actually want Russian gas. Even Slovakia, it's not the choice of the country, it's just Fico trying to use cheap Russian gas as the only argument to be re-elected. So, with the end of gas transit, Gazprom lost its influence on many politicians and most importantly countries. And then another serious problem happened when first Russian Gazprom bank was sanctioned. Before that, the US did not touch it, possibly because many EU countries used it for payments and they needed it. But with the end of the transit, with the end of dependency on the Russian gas, they don't need it. They substituted it with other gas providers and other banks. And the Gazprom was sanctioned at the end of 2024 very seriously. And most importantly, this led immediately to the tremendous collapse of the Russian ruble. If you remember those days when ruble was close to 111, rubles for just $1, that was the moment when Gazprom Bank was sanctioned. Subscribe to see this collapse of the Russian economy, Russian evil plans, and demonstrate your solidarity with the people of Ukraine. And please share these videos on your social media platforms. This helps a lot. So right now, they try to stabilize the economy and pretend that everything goes according to the plan when there are actually rumors about the potential freezing of the deposits of the Russian population. Let me know in the comments below, would you like a separate video on that? Because seems like it is coming and it is going to be huge. So after this sanctioned Gazprom bank, many other banks stopped cooperating, especially in China, in Kazakhstan, in Kyrgyzstan. That somehow helped Russia. And right now, another part of Gazprom business that helped it survive got sanctioned too, and that is Gazprom Neft. You can guess Gazprom Neft is closely connected to Gazprom, and it was in the recent package of new US sanctions signed by President Joe Biden just before he leaves the office. And the results were immediate. Chinese, Indian ports stopped accepting Russian tankers, and actually nobody needs Russian oil that much. And right now, this Gazprom Neft was perhaps one of the still working projects inside Gazprom, and this will tremendously influence their income, because with the end of gas transit, Gazprom will lose $5-6 billion annually. That's a lot, especially taking into account Russia's war economy, how exhausted their bank system is, how desperately they try to stop the inflation. And there are actually rumors that despite official expenditures, Putin doubled or even tripled them with the backup of banks that did not have a choice. So what we see right now is that Gazprom Neft is not working, Gazprom Bank is not working, gas transit is not working, and in the result of that, to make it like 100% visible and understandable, even for those who still try to find strengths in Russia, Gazprom headquarters plan to fire 40% of their managers in the central office in St. Petersburg and all over Russia. That is huge, because these people once worked in the richest company, perhaps considered themselves super lucky and earned the salaries we have never seen in our lives. And now, just because Putin and the population decided to start the invasion of Ukraine, they've lost it all very quickly, actually, very quickly, in a couple of years. I wonder what Russian oligarchs think about that right now. So 40% will be fired, and most importantly, this year Gazprom closes its offices in Brussels and Tokyo, because who needs them? And out of the largest Russian corporation, and we can actually say one of the strongest energy companies in the world, Gazprom turned into a failure, something totally dependent on China and Turkey. And even the start of its pipeline in Sudzha is controlled by, guess who? Ukrainian armed forces, who are in Sudzha now, which is Kursk of the Russian Federation. Well, definitely not the way Putin imagined his blitzkrieg. But most importantly, Gazprom is the main company of the sector of Russian energy that is actually the central one for ruble rate, for inflation, for the quality of life, if there is any, in Russia, and also income, budget income. And many experts back in 2023 believed that Gazprom will not fail, and that no matter what, Putin and his mafia friends will do everything to prevent its collapse. But they cannot. They cannot. And one of the most important conclusions that people should make: do not overestimate Russia, its resources and its powers. It's a toilet paper tiger. And we will see that collapse really quickly. Let's pray the sanctions remain or get harder, just as Russia deserves, for thousands of innocent lives lost and destroyed. And just because I don't like this discussions about Ukraine and Russia have to make concessions, have to. No, Russia is a murderer. Russia is a country responsible for this aggression and all the crimes that you witness, and many more conflicts in different corners of the world. So perhaps this criminal must be punished and the victim cannot be equated. And I honestly like that more and more headlines here in Ukraine, Moscow Times, and other describe the situation with Gazprom as, and I will substitute this with another term, softer for YouTube, that is actually like Gazprom got its balls cut. You can know the medical term for that, and that's exactly what is happening to Putin and Russia itself. Subscribe to witness that collapse together and to protect yourself against their agony, which is actually toxic. Join me on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and Threads, and our Discord community. I am also very happy that today Ukraine signed an agreement of 100 years of cooperation with the United Kingdom, and that is a great honor. I know I have a great community from this very beautiful country, and sometimes in Ukraine, my editor-in-chief liked saying that Ukraine is actually the Great Britain of the Slavic world, and I like this comparison. Thank you so much for standing together with us, same as people from different corners of the world, and I invite you for our live on Saturday, 9 p.m. Kyiv time. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. Check our merch shop for lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters. And we still have minus 10% for calendars and t-shirts with the names of months in Ukrainian. Check the deal. And most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Thank you for fighting against the evil Russia can and will be defeated. Slava Ukraini!